Hey y'all. Happy New Year. Okay? Happy New Year. And anything that we were not able to do last year or all the prior years with the grace of God all has to be done, unraveled, put in action this year. Okay? That's why today we are talking about don't look back, the cost of disobedience. Okay? Go in your Bible, Genesis 19. Okay? You have to read it because then you would understand this episode. We are talking about Lot's wife, how she looked back after God explicitly said, do not look back. This episode explores how looking back at what God told you to leave can freeze your progress, delay you, or turn you into something unrecognizable, okay? Sometimes the destruction isn't what's ahead, it's what we keep staring at behind us. All right. God didn't give a suggestion, He gave directive. Okay. We need to understand the difference. Sometimes, we all have done it. So no one can sit here and be like, wow, I don't even know why people look back. I don't know why people go back to things. You can't even say that. Everybody did that. Just because you ain't talk about it does not mean that you've never did it. Sometimes, see, I don't know because now it's a little different for me because I thought, like sometimes going back, it could be okay because, growth can be in what you're looking back at. And it could be that, you know what I'm saying? We don't know anybody out here. Only God knows. God knows the beginning and the end. We don't know. But the reason why I said that is because now I look at things differently. In order for me to look back on anything or look back at my past, not feel, I am doing going forward. I'm going to sit here and pray about it. I'm not going to move unless I get direction. Instead of just leaping on my own faith. No. You need to start praying before making moves and absolutely all and everything. I've never done that before, but ever since I've been doing that, you know what I'm saying? Like things have been great. Because it's like if you take yourself out and just put all and everything in Jesus Christ, it's like I'm not going to take a leap out on me. You know how all goes. So I'm tired of, like being sad, not getting the things that I want, or moving in a way that's preventing me to grow because sometimes it's you. Stop sitting here blaming everybody. Like, oh no, you're the reason why. No, ain't nobody the reason for nothing. Okay. You be accountable for you. Okay. If you've allowed something, it don't got nothing to do with nobody else. That's on you. If you saw and you didn't want to move, that's on you. Stop blaming people, okay? Be accountable. Sit here and say, you know what? This didn't work or this happened because of me. And you got to be okay with that. You can yell at yourself. Don't be sitting here yelling at nobody else. Be accountable for the things that you miss or the chances you decided not to take. Certain things that you decided not to do. And that's my biggest thing. Stop talking about people, okay? Stop talking about people. If you're going to talk about somebody, make sure you pray for them, okay? Pray because it's a lot of things that you got going on. Don't nobody know. So stop judging people, stop talking about everybody. Most importantly, for this year, we are no longer living like Lot's wife. Okay. I'm taking this for myself very seriously because, yeah, when you're doing something that you've never done before or something just jumps into you and it's like, hey, we need to move like this. Don't be fooled. That's the Holy Spirit, okay? That's like a reason. But to be able to distinguish what is holy, and you probably thinking, or maybe I'm just psyching myself out. If something comes into play and it's causing any type of confusion or hesitation, or it's just making you think, maybe I should, that is not holy, okay? Because God would not give us any thoughts, any feelings that would promote or make you feel anxious or second guessing. No, if it's from God, there's no need to second guess. You might be a little nervous because it's not, something that you would do. That's why I said, before you make any type of moves, make sure you sit here and pray about it. All right? That's why Lot's wife, man. When I read this story, I'm just like, what? If God is telling you, do not turn around, mind you, he sent two angels down to let them know. So if you're being told, do not turn around, but you got to think about it. What truly is the purpose of turning around? Even though he said, do not look back, what is the purpose of that? We already know what it is. You're turning around and looking back. Maybe you thought this was my chance to officially say goodbye. Let me just say goodbye to the life that I used to have. But if you have been given directions to not look back, just don't. That's why in that moment when she did look back, she turned into salt. Okay? No one said that she died. She turned into salt. Do we really know what that could potentially mean? I don't know. Think about it like this. Maybe she could have like turned into salt for, like I told you not to, so you just gonna freeze looking back. What if she was just frozen in that moment? God told you not to do something, and now when you turn around, you can just stay there now. Man, I'm telling you, when you sit here and read about it and think about your life, think about the way that you have been living for all of these years, not to sit here and be mad at yourself, because God would not put you in anything that makes you feel like, you know what, this was a waste of time. Absolutely nothing is a waste of time. If you want to look at things as a waste of time, don't even do it. Just say, you know what, it was a lesson in this. And if you're unsure what that lesson was, take the time out and sit here and pray about it. Like, Lord, I am trying to understand, why was I put in this? What was I supposed to learn from this? What was I supposed to see? What was I doing? What in me needed to change that I cannot see, that this is why that I was still in this? What is it? You know? Because we ain't gonna know. Stop thinking that we know everything. We do not know everything. Okay? I had a lot that I had to grow from. It was a lot of things that I didn't know that wording is very important. Okay. I didn't know that I struggle with this. Like in my mind, I want to say this, but it's a way you can say things, because if what you're saying is factual to you, when you let all of that out, who's to say what you thought about was exactly what you said? What if you was trying to say, you know what? It's gonna be raining today. It looked like it's gonna be a storm, and you done came out your mouth and made it sound like it's gonna be a hurricane or whatever, and everybody needs to leave. So you gotta be very cautious with the things that you're thinking about and how you put it out there. Because I did say something a few days ago. I did not want it to come out mean, but when after it was said, mind you, when you say something, you can't go back on it. You can't apologize. But whoever you said that to, whether it's a person or a group, when you say something, it is what it is. That's why life and death is in the power of the tongue, okay? Be careful what you be saying out here, because you could be mad one day talking about some, you know what? I can't wait for you to have your downfall. And then what happens if you say something like that, but it turns into something else and it just ends up horrible? It's a horrible situation for this other person that you was talking to. And then you thinking everything is good to go. And now you living life and things are just failing for you left and right. You got to understand, you got to be careful the way you talk to people. God don't play about his people, okay? And I'm slowly seeing that and I'm realizing that. And you're trying to make sure the other person doesn't make it when good and well you setting up your own downfall for yourself. So don't be sitting here talking about, yeah, they wanted that. No, what was you saying? And it's not always what comes out. God knows what we be thinking about. Just because you don't say it, the thoughts is there. And that's what, man, 2026. We need to be careful. We need to understand that thoughts and anything that comes out of our mouth, you can't go back on that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can apologize and, like going forward, I won't do this. But whatever you said, whatever you did, whatever you thought about is there. You can't go back and change that. You can change the future, but that's why, man, Lot's wife, she looked back. She wasn't supposed to, but maybe she just wanted to say goodbye or leaving all the memories there. Sometimes when you do turn around and you try to leave things there, you mess up your future just by a split second of looking back into anything. If you're trying to grow, you can't go backwards and forwards at the same time. You got to pick. You either going to stay back there or you going to move forward. You can't take what broke you in the past and try to bring it in what you got going on now. I mean, you can remember, but don't be that version of you that took that and tried to change it. You can't change things, okay? You can't. You have to, firstly, I would say 2026, you got to care about you. You got to make sure you are okay before you're trying to venture off into anything else. Make sure you good. Make sure the mindset is okay. Make sure, okay? Make sure you think about what you're trying to say before you just blurt it out, okay? Because you can mess up a lot of things with that too. Mind you, I only speak from experience. I messed up a lot of things by blurting things out and not taking the time to sit here and think about it. Don't do that, okay? From someone that did it, I'm telling you, don't. Think about it. Even if you're in the heat of madness, don't say it, okay? Because when you say it, you done said it. You can't go back. You can't do nothing. So take the time out. If you're in the heat of madness or whatever, and you're just like, you know what? I got a lot to say. No, you don't. Shh. Be quiet. Don't say nothing. Leave, go pray, and think about it. If you don't know what to say, ask for the correct way to say things, okay? I used to think, like, what are you talking about? Go and pray and ask, man. You better go and pray and ask because it works. Prayer is everything. It just works. I'm telling y'all. Get it right, please. It is the best thing ever. You gotta have your moments, you sitting there crying, and it's gonna be such a heartfelt cry. But when you're finished, I don't know how to explain it. It's like you just released everything. And we have to surrender. That's just what it is. And it's not, oh, okay, it's a Sunday morning before I go to church. I'm going to surrender. And today's going to be a great day. Listen, surrendering is daily, okay? Because I know we try so hard not to sin, not trying hard not to sin. It's not going to happen. Where the sinning starts to slow down is due to the love that you have for Christ. When you get so in tune, it's like you start to look at sinning as like it's a disgust. I don't even have time for it. I don't want to because I'm starting to build my connection and I'm starting to see different things. It's not even tempting anymore. It is what it is. And man, I'm telling you, This year is nothing but a prayer life, okay? And I don't want anyone to think like, wow, so you just want us to come correct. It's not that, because none of us are correct. If you think about it, I'm just saying, for myself personally, if I'm trying to better my connection with Christ and really be in tune in the way that I should be, trying to amp up my prayer life, trying to not rush me praying, because when you're rushing through prayer and you're just like, Lord, I never hear from you, the Lord is always talking, okay? I realize that the reason why we do not hear him is because we don't sit there long enough. We trying to hurry up. If you trying to exit out of prayer so fast, you could have left and he was talking. And if you have a lot going on in life right now, if, and when I say chaos, I'm not talking about a chaos home. I'm talking about like a chaos mind. How are you supposed to hear from him and you're thinking about any and everything else? Just relax. Take the time out, just relax and breathe and let everything that ain't it, you better let it go, because it's just holding up space, okay? Let it go. And when you really do talk to the Lord and he says, yo, he might not say yo, I'm saying yo. But if he tells you, don't look back. After reading Genesis 19, you better not look back, okay? Do not look back. That is literally how I am living the rest of my 26. Not looking back. When you sit here, you pray on something and you get an answer from it. Don't question it, just follow through, because you don't even know what could happen if you question it. Like, are you sure? How dare you ask God if he's sure? Mind you, I'm only speaking from experience. I did that when I was praying one day. I was like, but wait, Lord, it feels really different. Are you sure? And after I asked that, I really didn't hear from him like that. And I think that only came from, in that moment, he knew, you know what, like, she's not ready for this. Let her keep living life the way she wants to see it. And then when it fails, she'll be back. And ever since I started listening, it's like, of course, if you sit here praying and you're going through things, because all of us are going through things differently, and you praying and you start to crying and this and that, and you taking the time out, and it just gets easier and easier from there. Prayer is every day though. You know what I'm saying? That's why my biggest thing is, before I move, I will be praying on it. Before I speak, I will pray on it. Before anything happens, I'm going to pray on that. Because you don't know, you might see it a good fit for you, but if you pray on it, what if God is like, absolutely not? And you see, after praying, it's just like, wow, what if I would have did that? I could have ruined everything. That's why I'm telling y'all better pray before y'all move and talk, okay? Y'all better read about like Lot's wife, because that is my end goal for 2026. That's how I'm looking at everything. Every time I think about doing something, I think of that. I really hope that this episode will help somebody out there, and y'all better read Genesis 19. Okay, 2026, we are not going to be like Lot's wife anymore. Okay, I know I'm not. I'm not doing that anymore. We have to amp up the faith and understand God has us. We just have to be faithful in Him and understand God wouldn't put you in no nonsense. He would not. The faith has to be all in. And already, you guys, I will talk to y'all next week.